All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 21 of the podcast. We have a great guest. He's a Nebraska kid, just like me and Luke. He's from Lincoln, Southwest. He's done a lot in the swimming world. Olympic trials qualifier, six-time individual Nebraska state champ, and he's absolutely tearing it up at Arizona right now. It's Tommy Pamer. Thanks for joining us, Tommy.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy. So, how'd you find swimming like when you were growing up?
So my older sister, she had always been swimming before me. And so like we kind of she I was learning to swim and she went on to do like rec swimming. And so that's kind of like what my parents were like, "Oh yeah, let's do that for him too. He likes swimming. He likes learning to swim." They put me into rec swimming. I liked that. I was pretty good at it, so I wanted to join club. I joined Lincoln Select and when I was like 7, and I stayed on Select until I was 18, and it kind of just took me from there.
I
Gotcha.
gotcha.
So what it was like growing up in Nebraska and swimming? Me and Luke know what it's like, but tell like some of our viewers that may not know.
I don't really know. Like I said, it was pretty fun. Just like going, staying with my team for so long. I got to meet so many people, and I'm still friends with so many of those people who I've met back when I was like 8 or 9,
Yeah.
and so no, it was great. Was really good.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's see. You graduated this last year, right?
Yeah,
So you would have been there like 2019 was 2018, 2019 was like your freshman year.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
hmm
Yeah. So I actually swam against you a couple times, I think, because
Did we? Okay.
I graduated in 2019.
hmm
So I think I was there when you won the 200,
Okay.
your
Yeah.
freshman year, which was like a
Yeah.
dagger in the heart for us Grand Island people. But
Oh yeah.
that's kind of how I guess the Tommy Palmer name made it to Grand Island.
It kind of was. Yep. That
Yeah.
freshman 200 free.
Yeah. So what do you remember kind of about, swimming in high school, like specifically at Southwest, and what are some like memories you have?
No, I absolutely loved swimming, my high school swimming. I was on a great team with so many like great people. Um, Coaches were all great. My freshman year, we got our head coach, Leanne Fetterwit. She was an amazing coach. She sadly had to leave, and so then we had Coach Ross Bueller my last 3 years, and he did a fantastic job running the team. But no, like I hardly have any bad things to say about high school swimming. They were all like it was an amazing 4 years, and to be on that team and to do what we did as that team, it was great.
I gotcha. If you had to choose like one highlight of your high school career, what would it be?
Well, it would either be winning state as a team my junior year or winning state as a team my senior year. Both
Cool.
those those two meets were like completely different meets, but they were so fun to be a part of. Like I honestly can't choose which one I prefer over the other. They were crazy meets.
So tell us, for the viewers that might not know, Creighton Prep had that really long streak.
Mhm.
Were you guys the first to break it, or was the another team before that?
Yeah, so before my junior year, Creighton Prep had won 14 titles in a row.
Yeah.
And that going into that junior year, we had a few transfers from a different high school, and those really helped. Thomas Neal and Mason Schroeder, because both of them were made it into a final. Mason won it that junior year in the 100 back. That suit was so important for us to give us that extra push to win that year. And so, yeah, then it came down to the final relay my junior year. The 4 free relay is either us or prep. Whoever won the relay won the meet. And we ended up winning, and we all just went crazy. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
Yeah, like the whole stands was cheering for us. We were getting in like a cheer battle between us and prep on the other side of the stands in Devaney. No, the energy was so fun. It was crazy.
Very
I
cool.
gotcha.
So what was go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about swimming. Why you chose Arizona to swim for college?
Yeah, so during recruitment, I was talking to a lot of schools, and I really liked Arizona. I was kind of talking to schools like kind of more east of the country, and Arizona was the only one like west of Nebraska that I was talking to. And so they were kind of always like this different school that I was talking to. But no, I had really liked the coaches who I was talking to. The pool, the campus here is absolutely beautiful. Um, and then when it came down to it, I was looking at a few schools, and I was like, I see myself here at Arizona the most out of any other school, really.
Cool.
So,
what were a couple of the others that you looked at?
I was looking at Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin, Louisville, and here that I was looking at. And
Cool.
I took visits to all three of them, but when I was doing recruiting, there were no official visits because it was during COVID. The schools just they couldn't pay to have people come out during the pandemic. So I had to take unofficial visits to all the schools, which I got to meet up with some of the teammates, got to just kind of like hang out, but couldn't really do too much. But I had the most fun here. I had the most fun with the team here, and that definitely helped when making a decision.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about your swimming at Arizona. You came out of Nebraska, I think, on Swim Cloud that had you rank 116th, and you're just blowing that number out of the water. How's it been going? And tell us about the Minnesota Invite a little bit.
Yeah, so well, first off, like getting here, it's completely different training than what I've been used to. So many more coaches and so much more like they are able to give so much more attention than a club or a high school coach can give. So really I've been training specific 50 free, 100 free, 100 fly the past 2-3 months, which I haven't been able to train those specific things before. So then kind of going into Minnesota Invite, we were just racing in practices, and there's this one, it was like a Thursday practice we were suiting up and we were going off the blocks, just going fast. And I remember I did 350s freestyle, and in all three of those, I went best times in practice.
Whoa.
And I went 3:19.8s, and it took, and I hadn't broken 20 yet. That has been my goal for so long. And so I'm just wow. I'm just I'm really excited for this Minnesota meet. So then flash to that Minnesota meet.
Yeah.
I drop in all my events. I dropped half a second in the 50, 19.54, another half second in the 100, which was a 43, 4 or 5, I forget. And then what I was most surprised about was my 100 fly, where I dropped 2 whole seconds. So I remember I finished and I looked at my time, and I just look around just confused because I couldn't believe that I actually dropped 2 seconds in that. I was so surprised.
Yeah. So I was in the stands, actually. I went
Oh wait, really? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I went to the Minnesota Invite to go watch Jonathan. I'm a good friend of Jonathan.
Okay, yeah.
And then me and my friend Zach Cloud, we went, and so yeah, we watched him, and then I was another Nebraska scrummer Tommy, and then I was 100 fly, and I was A final. I was oh shit, Tommy's in the A final 100 fly. And then later on in the meet, this is what had me once he did this, I was texted Luke, we got to get Tommy on the podcast. Is the 400, I don't know, was it the medley or the freestyle relay? He split 42.2.
Yeah, that was the medley.
The medley. I looked up.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Tell us about it.
So that relay, like all the other relays before, I had terrible reaction times for
Mm-hmm.
my relay swing. And so for that one, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to go like just a split sec. No, not even a split second. I'm just going to go so much earlier than I'm used to.
Yeah.
And so I swung it and it was 0.08. So
Nice.
it was a pretty quick start. And then I just remember flying. Um, I had my splits were like 19.7, I'm pretty sure, for my first 50.
Yeah.
And I was on the C relay also. And I had the fastest 100 split out of everyone else on our team too. So I'm like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I was
insane.
doing the math in my head because I saw you hit 19, and then I don't remember where you came back, and I added up. And I looked over at Zach. I was like, Zach, what's that? Because he's an accounting major. He's like 42 too. I was like, what? Yeah, that's pretty wild. It was seeing those time drops. What do you think? Like the main thing was it just having that specific training, or was it like technique change, or yeah?
I think it's both. So for example, like I've never like trained with buckets and racks before.
Right.
And so we've been using those like 2, maybe even 3 times a week in our practices. And those just give you so much more power to your stroke, I feel like. And that helped. And also, yeah, technique. Like because I've never really thought about it before, but like if you change something in your stroke, it's not much, but it's something. And if it saves in one stroke, if it saves like 100th of a second or 200ths of a second, those add up over time. That can drop you a lot of time. And
Right.
so that's kind of hammering it down on that. Like coming in, my stroke wasn't that good looking, and it, like my coach keeps telling me, like, your stroke has looked so much better. It's gotten so much better. And so I think definitely that has another thing to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So after these mid seasons, so you like just tear it up at Minnesota. What are you looking to improve upon after going forward?
So because we still have our next big meet is our conference meet, PAX.
Yep.
Definitely my biggest thing I need to improve on is my start, because I kind of like dive up and I'm kind of like that in the air when I need to be more like that. That's like every alpha of all of my starts. That's what I look like. And so just getting that down is definitely what I'm going to be working on the most.
I gotcha. Do you do you have any time goals going forward, or are you just trying to have an open mind?
I haven't really thought about times. I was kind of thinking of times from Minnesota, but now that like I've kind of gotten a few of those, like honestly, like even though I had gone under 20 in practice, like that was still like my goal. Like
Right.
I it's like, yeah, I kind of know that I'm gonna get this, but like it's still like, oh, I just need, it's like, because it's a big goal, breaking
Right.
20 for the first time.
Yeah.
And especially because I was trying to break it for 2 years and then finally got it. So that was the one that I really wanted. But no, I haven't really thought of times looking forward. I guess the main goal is making NCs this year.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
What's it like to not break 20 for 2 years and then do 19.8 3 times in practice?
It's really surprising, like especially when my coach said, or like when I touch the wall and she looks at her stopwatch and it's just 19.8, and I'm like, wow, okay. But no, yeah, because past 2 years at state, I was so close to under 20. I was 20.04 junior year, then 20.10. And I both times finished the ball, and it's just like, oh, but no, it just made it so much better when I did break it finally.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Sure.
Doing it in practice 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what else is Arizona like? Like, take us through a day in your life at
all right. So kind of like a typical training day is like I'd wake up early. I'd set my alarm for like 5:15, get up, walk over to practice. The pool and locker room, it's like barely over a 5-minute walk, so it's never too bad. Swim, do my practice, go get breakfast at our really nice breakfast place, and then kind of class, study hall, which is always annoying, but we got to do it. So study hall, then kind of some downtime, another class usually, and then practice again, and then that kind of leads me into like 5 o'clock ish. So
I gotcha.
yeah, really. And then like on Tuesdays and Thursdays and some Fridays we lift in the mornings too, from like 8:30 to 9:30, and then swim after that.
Gotcha. So. What's your major?
I'm switching it to education.
Cool.
Oh, solid. Do you have any plans like upper education or like elementary?
Probably like no, I don't have any plans over that now.
That's cool. What was your welcome to Division I swimming moment, if you had to pick one?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably, I would probably have to say my first, like, our first official meet. I was going to say our inter squad, but no, I know exactly the moment. So we're getting ready to go up to our pool. So like our locker room is in a different building than our pool. Our locker room's in like the basketball arena here, and we kind of have to like walk outside the building, and then there's our pool. So we're in our locker room, and it's our first dual meet against GCU, and so we're like, all right, let's go out. And they were all telling us freshmen, they weren't telling us like what, but they're telling us freshmen like, oh yeah, no, you can't go up yet. And we're like, well, why? Like, why not? And they're like, because we go out of the team. And we're like, okay. So we start walking towards the pool, and we have to kind of walk up a ramp to get outside of the building. And so we're walking up the ramp all together, and then suddenly everyone just starts stomping, and it's making this really loud noise. And we're like, okay, I guess they're stomping now. And so then we turn the corner, and then we just start running and screaming. And I'm just like, now we're doing this. And we do that until we get out of the building. And so that was kind of like, okay, wow, this, like, we are about to, it's like we're going into battle for this swimming. That's kind of what it seemed like. Yeah. And so I'm like, wow, all right, let's do this. And it did get me pretty hyped for the meet. It really did. Yeah.
Gotcha. What would be the biggest difference from college to high school if you had to pick one?
Ooh, probably, I think the biggest is training. So what we have like 3 or 4 different groups that we swim. There's like a middle distance, sprint, I am stroke, and then distance. And so I'm in like the sprint group. And just like kind of having that, like these different groups where we all like, where you are, these different groups, like where we get our like own focus, our own attention, and each group gets like their designated coach. And so that was really helped the training, I think. Another thing is just like the abundance of practices. Like, for example, like at the beginning of the year, we do stadiums in the football stadium. Those are hard. I have never done anything like that before. Those are really hard. But I don't know. It just seemed like so much more on a higher level.
Yeah.
And like, also like everyone who I swim with, we're all like I've never swam with everyone on like the same level before.
Right.
I've swum with some great swimmers, but like not with everyone being on the same level. And so like kind of having that, so you'll always have someone to race. You'll always like have a competition. I don't know. It was pretty eye-opening, because like coming from my club where there's not too many swimmers, it was different having like everyone like not leading a lane for once, you know?
Right. Right.
I could see
Is
that.
Arizona gonna go on a training trip or anything?
No, we don't go on a training trip, which is, I mean, like where we swim already, it's already pretty nice. So it's like there's no need to like go to California or Hawaii to train when like we have the same facility where we have now.
Gotcha. So you
Okay.
just be living in wherever you live and just training in the same
Mm-hmm.
facilities.
Yep. Yeah. Just staying in the dorms over winter break.
Nice.
Gotcha. Now, are you gonna take a trip back to family in Nebraska?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I get from the 17th to the 26th, and then back the 27th for our winter training week. That's and our for our winter training, it's going to be long course, which I haven't swam since like July. So it'll be pretty eye opening. It'll be hopefully not too rough.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Are you planning to train in your week off?
Yeah, I'm hoping to go back to my club, probably for like two practices, just like kind of like taste of home, see like and just like be like, oh yeah, like go to the pools where I used to swim at. Um, I'll visit my high school. I was hoping to be home for their mid-season meet, but I get back the evening and they swim in the morning, which I was kind of upset about. But no, yeah, I want to show up to one of their practices, say hi, see how things are going, and just yeah, kind of try and do what I used to do back at home. Now that I am home.
Right.
I gotcha. Paul, you got anything?
Well, should we go into the rapid fire fun questions?
I think it's time.
All right. So your favorite pool you ever swam at?
Ooh, I'm okay. I'm probably gonna have to say our pool here. Okay, specifically the diving well pool because
Okay.
it's warmer than our other pool.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Your favorite event to swim, not necessarily your best.
um, 50 free
Gotcha.
or two free relay.
Okay. Cool.
Solid.
What leg do you like to be on the 2 free relay if you had to pick? You want to lead off, you want to anchor?
I like anchoring.
Okay.
I
Nice.
haven't gone into anchor yet this year, but I like anchoring. I do that like all through club and high school.
I gotcha. Favorite meat snack? What are you snacking on?
Nilla wafers.
Ooh, that's a good
Gotcha. If you could swim with anyone, past or present, so we always tell people you can get George Washington up from the grave, or you can swim with Michael Phelps. It's up to you. Who are you swimming with?
Ooh. I'd probably I mean it's basic, but I'd probably say like Dressel or someone
Yeah.
big like that. Like I haven't really thought about that.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Who's the coolest person you've ever swam with? It can just be in the same pool.
Ooh, I gotta think about that. First person to come to my maybe like Brennan Baylog,
Okay.
the great swimmer for Florida, or like,
Okay.
but like I was pretty young with that when I swam with him. So if not, then like probably like Alex Petty.
Nice.
Alex is a man.
Let's
Yep.
go. He's up at Harvard, right?
Yeah, I got to see him over in Minnesota.
Cool. Cool. I guess he's Lincoln Select too. Is that right?
Yeah, he was great to swim with.
Cool. Let's see. Favorite drill.
Tipping drill. It's a drill we used to do in our club. It's kind of hard to explain, but like we always like joked about it and memed about it.
Okay.
So
Cool. We'll take your word for it.
All right. What are you jamming to behind the blocks?
Oh, I don't really like jam to a lot of songs, but I've been probably Eminem actually.
Cool.
Okay. Solid.
Max McHugh was a Taylor Swift. Holy ground.
Okay, No, funny. I was going to say Taylor Swift, but then I'm like, no. If I would, then I would probably choose Eminem.
There we go.
I gotcha.
Taylor Swift Eminem combo. That'll get you going.
Yeah.
If you had any words of wisdom to like swimmers, anyone, what are you saying to them?
Probably like don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just focus on like what you're doing, how you're swimming, and just like how you can improve your swimming.
Gotcha. That's super good advice. Well, do you have anything else for us, Tommy?
Not really. Like it was great. It was great being here. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had fun with you as well.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. That's episode 21 in the books. Tommy Pamer.
21. Let's go.